I think I've done it. I think we're live. Can you find it? No.
Oh, hang on.
It's the same thumbnail as the one that I've already sort of butchered, yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, people can hear you. Well, they can't, so aren't they? But right, can you hear me and stuff?
Yes.
You can?
Yeah, I can hear you all right.
Okay, I probably want to stop touching the mic then. Yes. Hello, welcome, Super Pants Gaming. I'm terribly sorry about that to anyone that was actually here a minute ago. I don't know. I was trying to get this set up to use like the sort of normal camera and normal mic that I normally use. However, it defaulted to like the built-in webcam thing, and yeah, which was dreadful, and it just sort of didn't work. So I think I've sorted that now, and in theory, my sensible adult is through there on a laptop, and she said she can hear me and see me. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I need you to confirm that. So yeah.
Watching.
Sorry.
Free watching.
Excellent. So yes, so basically, waffle aside, there's a fly in the room. Sorry about this. Every time I do something like that, I'm dodging out the way of a fly. I've not gone completely mental, although I might be a little bit mental anyway. But yes, this is my first ever live on YouTube. So thank you, anyone that actually turns up for this, or anyone that sort of watches this in the future. This is going to be absolutely dreadful. I can pretty much promise you that. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing here today. So I'm hoping that a couple of you guys turn up and sort of ask some questions about stuff. I don't know. We'll talk about YouTube. We'll talk about gaming and all that sort of malarkey. So yes, if you're wondering why I keep looking down there, that is where I can sort of see like the screen and stuff, and actually sort of see if anyone's actually said anything and stuff. So yes, so there you go. So anyway, it's been quite a long day today, to be totally honest, because today me and my sensible adult actually had a day off, and we got the train to Leicester. There'll be a little bit more of that sort of coming in the future. We went to, is it called Super Game Shack?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, Super Game Shack in Leicester, which was awesome. Quite an experience. Didn't get a lot of stuff, to be totally honest. And we also stopped off to do the CX £10 challenge there, which you guys will hopefully be seeing on Saturday if I get my thumb out of my backside and actually get the editing done. It's been absolutely baking today, so if you can hear a bit of a whir in the background, it's because I've got a fan on, which I wouldn't normally have on, but it's just been one of those days. It's been a big sort of rush sort of thing. So hello, Mark. We have someone in the comments. That's awesome. So yeah. Yes, so this is just basically a waffle about video games, a waffle about YouTube and stuff. I've actually been here a year now, which has gone by really fast, to be totally honest. So partly surprised I'm still here, sort of still doing it, but yeah, sort of pleased to be here, sort of, yeah, with the games, showing everyone stuff and that. So yeah, guys, let me know, what do you guys actually want to see? Do you want to see some games tonight, or do you want me to talk about YouTube or anything at all? So yeah, that would be awesome. My sensible adult is in the other room on her laptop actually having a look, so we technically have one less person watching than it says. So yeah, so I don't know, let's just pull a game off the shelf and see what happens. So I don't know. I've got no idea what game to pull off the shelf, though. So this is absolutely rubbish, and I did promise you it would be. So don't be too surprised about that. Yeah. Yeah, go on. My sensible adult is coming in clutch. She's walked in, and she is going to randomly take a game off the shelf. What are you going to do? You're looking at the PS4 section. I'm mildly concerned. Don't take anything that's in a baggie, because I haven't played it, and I won't really know what to say about it. So... and try not to take anything that I've spoke about recently, because that won't be very interesting, because people will already know what it is. So it would appear that she's as decisive as I am. I thought she was just going to grab one and hand it me, but she hasn't. So there you go. Oh, Frostpunk. Really? So my sensible adult wants me to talk about Frostpunk, which is a really awesome game where you have to build like a civilization around this sort of big furnace thing in the middle. And yeah, it's really hard, and it's kind of depressing, to be totally honest, because it's set like everything's sort of frozen, and everything's it's just really hard. It's a really tough game. You have to sort of go and get your resources, but you're just sort of trying to keep the civilization sort of rolling and stuff. And yeah, really decent game, but a really sort of gritty game as well. And I would say I have to be in a really good mood to play this, otherwise I just sort of, after playing it, I just sort of feel, oh, you know. And some of the decisions, it's like you're sort of making decisions to try and keep people sort of going and stuff, and then everyone just ends up rioting, and just all sort of hell breaks loose in this game. But yeah, really solid game, Frostpunk. I believe there might be a sequel to it as well, which I haven't played and don't know about, or don't know much about, but I have a feeling there was a sequel. Yes. There you go. Good game to pick. Good game to pick off the shelf. So thank you for that. I haven't actually played it for a couple of years. So there you go. Maybe. I don't know. Shall I tell them about going on the train to Leicester a bit more? Or yes. Oh, hello. Another normal Yorkshireman. Hello, my friend. How you doing? How's it going with the PS1 stuff? So yeah. So went to Leicester today to Retro Game Shop, and that had a load of awesome PS1 stuff. But I mean, you know, I dare say you've probably got most of it now. Or last time I saw you, it looked like you had, because that wall behind you looks absolutely fantastic, mate. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Ah, Saint Dave, you made it back. Sorry about early, but I don't quite know what happened. I set it all up wrong, and it just did not work. So yeah, but we are back now, and yeah, it's still complete nonsense. So, but I don't think you could hear me last time. So there you go. Game Zone Bird Room, excellent. Hello, Bud. How you doing? That's Feed Me Chicken's rival. So yeah, awesome. So if you wonder what I'm doing, the screen's down there that I'm sort of reading comments off and stuff. So yeah. What do you guys want to chat about? What do you guys want to know? Do you want me to show you some stuff? I really don't know. I'm sort of open on this. Me and my sensible adult were in Leicester all day today, and we only got back about an hour ago. It's ridiculously hot in here, so if you can hear a word behind me sort of thing, that's a fan on, because otherwise I'd just be absolutely drenched. I probably look absolutely haggard, to be honest. So yes. No worries. We got a gaming market in Milton Keynes on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I'm hoping to actually be there. I'm hoping to get back to that one, because that's sort of relatively local sort of thing. It's sort of 30, 40 miles from here. Do you reckon?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So yes, that'll be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that, actually, because to be totally honest, I went to the game shop in Leicester today. I really didn't spend much, so I've got a little bit of a sort of war chest to sort of throw at that, hopefully. So I'm, yeah. Although there were a couple of games today that I've kind of got home, and I said to my sensible adult, there were 2 games I should have bought, and I was like, nah, I don't know. I'm too indecisive when I'm out places. That's the problem. Especially when the games are sort of up over sort of 20, 30 quid. I'm like, oh, should I? Shouldn't I? But yeah. Another normal Yorkshireman. You added a few PS1 games today. Still 550 to go. Wow. Okay. Wow. More than I thought, to be honest. But yeah. So how's it going with the PS3 as well? Because I know you're collecting PS3 now. I love a bit of PS3. So not really got a lot of PS3 stuff. Yeah. But I don't know. Don't mention the chicken, man. I love him really. Yeah, Feed Me Chicken is an absolute legend. So yes, as are you, Game Zone Birdman. Yes, definitely. So you'll have to excuse me. I'm supping on a can of Monster because I'm haggard, and also it's too hot today. I don't know if any of you guys out there find it, but I'm kind of like sort of cold-blooded or something. It's like Viking blood, honestly. And as soon as it goes above about sort of 15, 16 degrees, I am absolutely useless at everything. I just sort of melt. I sort of drip. It's horrible. It was about 23 here today. And yeah, horrible. I think the best part of the day, to be totally honest, was the train. The train was lovely. So we don't get to go on a lot of trains. My sensible adult used to go to work on a train every day. And I used to go down to London every weekend on a train. So, but I mean, that was a long time ago, to be honest. So it was really, really nice to sort of get out and go to Leicester. and have a nice look around. Really enjoyed Leicester, actually. So nice little city. So, or well, sort of little city, biggish city, I suppose. So yeah, background, good spot. Excellent. I've got to remember to keep fiddling with that. That's going to keep doing that about every 15 minutes. I should have sorted that before we came on, but yeah. Yeah. So I need to recount to be exact, but PS3 is around 320-ish. Wow. That's already way past what I've got, mate. That's probably about what I've got on the 360, to be honest. I collected that for a fair while. So I tell you what, mate, you don't have to collect quickly. Yeah. Yeah, that is awesome. PS1 a little over 860. That's incredible. That is incredible. That's about 10 times what I've got PS1. Looking up that most of the PlayStation stuff's over that side, sort of thing. The Xbox stuff's here, sort of, as you can see, some of it, sort of thing. And the 360 sort of goes around here. There's another one of these shelves sort of to the side just here. And then at the top of that at the moment, I've got the Master System. Well, sort of some of the Master System stuff, sort of thing. And I kind of move the sort of retro-y, sort of more vintagey stuff around. The Master System stuff might get switched out for the Mega Drive stuff in a couple of weeks. I'm not sort of totally sure. But yeah, I sort of go through sort of phases with the older consoles, and I don't really actively collect the older stuff anymore, to be totally honest. I'm more sort of, well, I don't know, the Xbox stuff, the original Xbox stuff that I'm collecting. I'm absolutely loving that. I actually took a week off from doing like my PlayStation trophies thing, so that I could sort of play some of the original Xbox stuff because I was getting quite a backlog of it, and yeah, absolutely loved it. So yeah, there you go. And basically, the PlayStation stuff's over there. I've got some PS1 stuff sort of like at the top, which if I turn the camera, it'll sort of be off the top, sort of up there, sort of thing. And then I've got PS2 in sort of one of these. And then there's PS4 next to it in another one. And then there's, I don't know if you guys remember, but I put like a couple of little shelves up above the other telly. The PS3 stuff sort of fits nice and sort of snug in that. So, and that's kind of awesome. And I've not been reading the comments, so I'm behind on that now. Don't mention that chicken, man. Oh no, I've already done that. Yeah. I have been reading the comments. I just didn't realize I had. I live in the Highlands and it's too hot if it's only 15. Yeah. I'll be totally honest, I probably quite like it in the Highlands, but not the weather in the winter, because yeah. I do go up to Scotland, but not that far up, sort of thing. Sort of south bit of Scotland, I go up to sort of 2 or 3 times a year normally, and yeah, absolutely love it up there. But I mean, the Highlands is absolutely beautiful. But I've seen some of the weather up there, sort of like in the winter and stuff, and I don't know, that might be a little bit much for me. But yeah, I do like it up there, and it's normally a lot more sort of temperate for me, and yeah. That said, I did actually get sunburnt playing golf in Scotland once, and no one believed me. I had a week off work, and I came back and I was absolutely burnt as a crisp. And I was playing, and of course, I can't remember exactly where it was. It was somewhere sort of southwest. It was like a links course near the coast, and yeah, I it was all cloudy. Got up on the top, like first teed off, and all of a sudden the clouds just broke, and it was like sort of 3 hours just absolutely, yeah, cooked, absolutely cooked. So, and I haven't played golf for about 15 years. So, yeah, so no jokes about that, because yeah, I did used to enjoy that. I actually used to use it to sort of de-stress. So I used to be like a sort of like a manager in a warehouse, and I sort of used that used to be something that just used to really work for de-stressing me. It was really kind of weird because it was sort of something that I hadn't really considered too much before then. I was never any good at it, It's like, I'm sure the golf ball manufacturers love me. Let's just say that. Why am I talking about golf? Anyway, yes, that's the problem. And this is the reason why when I do YouTube, a lot of the time you guys get sort of 3 or 4 cuts, and then I cut it together in the editing, and sort of you guys get the one that's most coherent, because otherwise it'd just be it would be just massively crazy. It just goes off on all sorts of tangents, and it's like, why am I even talking about that? This video is about video games, and now for some weird reason I'm talking about changing the clutch in a car. Makes no sense. So, but that is my life, sort of through and through. So, I'm collecting for Vita. St. Dave, I'm collecting for Vita, as I love the system, and the cases are small, so easy to store. Yes, I love the Vita. I've never really collected Vita, but I must be honest, I played a lot of Vita, like when the world shut down in sort of 2020, sort of thing. I was lucky enough that I grabbed like half a dozen Vita games before the prices went a bit silly, and I played quite a bit of Vita then. And yeah, I absolutely love the Vita. I bought the Vita back sort of back in the day. I've got like the original, like the OLED one, so I sort of prefer the OLED. And I got it sort of just sort of towards the end of its sort of life cycle when they sort of made it when they were getting rid of the OLED and getting the LCD one sort of through. And I think it was the LCD one. And yeah, I got it for Persona 4 Golden, which is one of my favorite JRPGs of all time, and literally bought the Vita just for that. But I've probably got about 20 games on the Vita, and I do really like it, to be honest. Massively underrated little handheld. And yeah, I've had it. I think all Sony needed to do was stand by it and support it. Honestly, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think that was a missed trick because I don't know. The Vita was awesome. The Vita was a little powerhouse of the thing as well. So yeah. So yeah. Ah, hello, Retrohead. How you doing, bud? The weather is not that bad, really. I lived up there for over 4 years now. Yeah, awesome. That's cool. That's cool. So maybe I'll have to consider moving up there then. So there you go. You've got a new neighbour. Yeah, you'll have to move away now. Oh dear. I want to turn my loft into a games room. Whew. Yeah. All my PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5 games are in boxes in the bedroom and loft. Oh no. Yeah. I can feel your pain there. I've done that before. I'll be totally honest. When I get to that, I tend to sort of get rid of a load of stuff. Uh I I don't know. I'm sort of at maximum capacity for shelves. In a way, I could sort of stick a couple of those other shelves up there and get a few more games in, but I don't know. That's the only real bit of wall space that I've got in here. So, but yeah, I feel your pain. We did actually chat about a loft conversion a couple of years ago, didn't we? Don't you remember?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah or no? I mean, it was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not sort of in that sort of trade sort of thing. So I mean, if you can, I don't know, it was going to be hella expensive. And to be totally honest, this is only quite a small house sort of thing. I didn't really sort of think it was going to be worth it for what it was going to cost. So, and yeah, yep, yeah. And you obviously don't remember that. Yeah, well done. Golf is great stress relief. It certainly is. It certainly is. So, yeah, I don't know why I stopped playing. To be totally honest, I guess I just became unstressed and then thought, well, you know. So we'll have to do. I'll have to take you at the driving range sometime. I think there's still some clubs in the garage somewhere. That'll be funny. You guys don't know the sensible adult, but I can't imagine her swinging a golf club. That would be yeah, interesting to say the least. So yeah. Don't worry, all do that, mate. That's why I edit my videos too. Yeah. Oh my god. You got some of the editing. The thing is, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy the editing. I probably enjoy the editing more than I enjoy sort of sitting here, sort of chatting about stuff. I've been a little bit nervous about this coming into this, to be totally honest, because I know that I just sort of waffle, and apparently I say so a lot. I know I say so a lot. I notice that in editing. I also say, what's the other one? What's the other thing I say a lot?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't think what it was. I probably said it 100 times during this. I don't notice I'm saying it. That's the thing.
I just repeat myself a lot.
Yeah, I'll think of it in a minute. It will come to me in a minute. So yeah, sort of. Thank you, Mr. Mackerel. What a save! What a save! And hello, Mr. Mackerel. Hello, Access Area 6. Hello, Kev. How you doing, bud? I'm working back up the list now, which is euphemism. Oh, what did I say? Oh no, about you on the driving range. Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah. Don't know. It depends if my luck's in, I guess. So I'll pay for that later as well. So yes, Max Payne Limited Edition game on the shelf, pal. Oh, yeah, the Max Payne 3 statue up there. Yeah, that actually came from a car boot last year. I think it was a £5. So yeah, I've been umming and ahhing about whether to keep it or not, to be totally honest, because it's really big, and it's like I kind of want the shelf back. Yeah. Do you want to see what it is? Actually, I could get that out. Yeah, I may as well. So bear with me. I'm probably going to knock everything off the shelf here. So yeah, I'm just going to move them down there. I could get it out. I bet you could get it out. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, I can sort of see where this live stream's going, and the background's gone again. The background is gone. I keep forgetting to do the thing on it. Come on, come back on. There you go. I can't get it out of the box. It's too tight, people. Oh no. Actually, can you help me for a second? I literally can't get it out of the box. Can you just hold the box? Okay. Thank you. It's got a nice tight box, this one.
Yes.
Right, wait. I got them.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a joke about people and light bulbs here somewhere. There we go.
I got it.
So in there, just stick that over there. That's cool. So in there, you've got this big polystyrene thing, and inside the polystyrene thing, you've got this. Which has only ever been out of the box once, to be totally honest, and that's when I originally picked it up. So it's kind of cool to look at it again, to be honest. So, and it's that, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, I suppose actually I could just stick that on the shelf as it is, but yeah. Just trying to catch up with the comments. What do we got? Hello, Gibbo. And what?
What's your top 3?
Oh yeah, I've missed that. Yep, I almost missed that one. That's gone off the top. What, my top 3 pickups out in the wild? Oh, I presume you mean sort of car boots and charity shops and stuff. I really don't know, to be honest. I mean, that was pretty good for a £5. That's, stick that up there. It's got these weird art cards in it as well. I'm just trying to think. Probably all that stuff we got. There used to be a really good car boot on near Northampton, place called, was it Earls Barton?
Yeah.
Where we met Debbie and that.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a place called Earls Barton in Northampton. It's not on anymore, unfortunately. And it was like set in like a couple of fields, and it was absolutely huge. And it's like you get there, it takes you about 3 hours to get around it. And some of the stuff I got from there, I mean, I was picking up sort of 30, 40, 50 quid games for sort of 2 or 3 quid regularly. And yeah, just probably that stuff. It's like Lollipop Chainsaw, I think I paid £1 for, and just sort of stuff like that. So yeah, it's got these sort of weird art card things with it as well. That Max Payne 3 statue. Don't know what of these I can show you, but I don't really care, to be honest. You can see them all. Yeah, a bit dark. I don't know about these. It was a bit sort of, I get what they've gone for, but I think I would have preferred something a little bit less sort of monochrome in a way. So yeah, that's probably just me though, my style. Yeah, probably the stuff from Old Barton was probably my best in the wild for a while. I probably need to be speaking into the mic more, don't I? I've made a right mess now. There's stuff everywhere. And I've kicked the camera. That's clever. Oh dear. Right, start again. Yeah, I don't know. I picked up a slim PS2 for a £5, which was practically brand new. That was Old Barton as well. Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
They all sort of merged into one after a while. That was, I don't even know when that was. We're probably going back sort of 2018, 2019 now. The car boots for me, we went to one last weekend, got nothing, zero, absolutely nothing. So I was hoping there'd be like a little video of my car boot pickups, but it's been sort of really bad for the last sort of 6 months or so, I think. So yeah. So what am I missing on here? I'm having to scroll back up slightly here. So sorry, people. I will catch back up with what's happened. Me and my wife went to a place called a Rage Room. We wore overalls and goggles and swung baseball bats, cricket bats, and golf clubs, and loads of breakable house stuff. I thought you were going to say it each other. I was going to say what? Oh my god, that sounds awesome. Actually, I could cope with that. Yeah, that sounds absolutely brilliant. So. Yes, I think that was an absolute bargain for a £5. And yeah, the guy said he actually had 3 of them. And I went over and I said, "Oh," I said, I thought it originally it was just like the sort of the cube like advertising thing that you get like in game and stuff." And he said, "Oh no, it's got the statue and stuff." He was like, "It's all sealed, they're brand new." He said, "I had 3 of them." He said, "I've sold the other 2." He said, "You can have it for a tenner if you want. It's the last one." I turned around to my sensible adult and said, "Oh, what do you think?" And my thought was, it's big, and I don't know if I want something that big in here, sort of thing, because I've not really got a lot of room. And he said, "Oh, I tell you what, you can have it for a £5." And I was like, well, for a £5, I'm not going to say no. So yeah, so there you go. That's how that came home with me. So Kev's been out in garden shooting FIFA games, right? Kev, you been shooting FIFA games? Oh yeah, I saw that with a gun stock. That was kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, I've clicked something on this now. Don't cut off. What am I doing? Sorry, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm not playing with my junk. That's where the laptop is. That's where the laptop is that I'm running it off. I should have made it higher so I could actually be a bit more in it, sort of thing. So yeah. Mr. Mackerel, you've been scanning DVDs. 53 for £22. Blimey. You know it's summer when the cold water tap is warm. Yeah. Oh, mate. I was melting today up in Leicester. Best part of it was the train. The train was nice and cool. Enjoyed that. But yeah, oh my God. Just, yeah. I sweat pints. Whenever it's more than 15, I am absolutely done. If you guys, any of you guys that have turned up recently, if you can hear a light whir in the background, it's because I've got a fan on, because I'm just, yeah. We got in about an hour before the live stream. It's part of the reason that I was sort of late on, sort of thing. And it was, yeah, just too hot in here. I was like, oh dear, that's great. So haven't really planned this very well. Let's just say that. But that is sort of, that's me through and through. I would say that. So do you have a gaming related bucket list? Hello, Mr. Sanford. That is a very good question, actually. A game you want to complete or console you want to own, etc. Oh, before I go to the great bowl of soup in the sky. I don't know. I have a want list, and there's always like sort of 1 or 2 games that sort of get right up there. But I'll be totally honest, I tend to get most of them. There's nothing sort of particularly expensive or obscure that I'm really after. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I wouldn't really say I've got too much of a bucket list. Can you think of anything?
That hurricane game.
Hurricane game?
Yeah, tornado outbreak.
Nah, I don't want that.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, we were talking about that because I said that was the only that was the only game that I considered rare on the 360 back when I was collecting 360.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what that was about. I wasn't desperately after it, so I wouldn't mind a copy, but I'm not. You know, I'm not going to pay what it is because it's That's the other thing. Sorry, just ignore the conversations in the background now as well. So this is as professional as ever, people. I will say that. So it's exactly what you were expecting, though, isn't it? I would have thought. So Yorkie, you like the sun then, mate? Get them traded backers. Dear. Huh? Sorry, my sensible adult's waffling in the background now. You probably can't hear her, but tell us a hot take.
Yeah,
What do you think is overrated and underrated? Oh, do you really want a big hot take? Because I can like halve my subscribers with one hot take right now. Do I drop it on them?
yeah, go on.
Do you even know what I'm going to say?
No.
The Switch is overrated.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Sorry. I like the Switch. I don't love it. I've got a Switch. That's gone off again. Either that's gone off or everyone's just disappeared.
Back again.
Just to show, I've got a Switch. It's the Zelda one. It looks really nice. I've played it once in about 3 months, to be totally honest. I prefer my indies on the PS4 or Steam Deck. I like it. I don't love it. And I know everyone seems to absolutely love the Switch, and the Switch is the best thing, etc., etc. I like it. The first party stuff's really good, but I've had a couple of games that just don't run on it. It's like we had Sonic Frontiers, was it?
Yeah.
And it just, it was dreadful. It's just the popping. You just, and I sold it, bought it on the PS4, and much prefer it on PS4. And that's sort of my thing. I don't know. I really like collecting PS4. The Switch library I've got is really small, but I do like the Switch, but don't love it. That's my hot take for you. That is my hot take. So, oh, Gibbo loves me. Presumably he's talking to me. The best pickup. I think I've missed a few. Sorry, people. If I miss your comments, I do apologize. I am trying to keep up with it. So, £1 for lollipop chainsaw. Wow. Yeah. I also got a load of sealed stuff for £2 as well. Half of the stuff I've got sealed. I was paying £1 for open games and £2 for sealed games. Yeah. I'm just looking. I can't even think which ones it was now. Yeah, I don't know. I've still got most of them. Honestly. I think the Lightning Returns, I think that was £2. Yeah, that's still sealed. That was a £2. So that's pretty good. Which is actually right next to that, which was my £1. So I really like the Suda 51 stuff. So like the sort of style of it. Just sort of like what he does with the games. Makes them a little bit wacky and stuff. So yeah. Where am I? Yes, the statue again. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been a bargain. So yeah. But I mean, yeah, I couldn't believe when the guy said, "Oh, I'll give £5 then." It's like, what? I think he said he worked somewhere where they had like a load of them, and he said they were throwing them in a skip, and all the stuff that he had, he'd pulled out the skip. He had loads of other stuff as well, but sort of nothing else that I was sort of really after. I think he had like elite Xbox Elite controllers and stuff that he was like selling for like sort of £60 and that, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's kind of cool, but it's like, yeah, he said where he worked, they did sort of like gaming merch and stuff. Like it was a warehouse, and they just threw loads of stuff in the skip, and he was allowed to just sort of help himself to it. So it was like, wow. So yeah, hope I'm not getting someone in trouble there. But I very much doubt that anyone would see this, so that would know who he is or whatever. And I'm just waffling again. So there you go. As I'm reading down. I've got 11 fans in chat. Yeah, well, there's 12 people. I wouldn't say they were fans. I don't. I dare say they like. Yeah, I think yeah, but yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. 12 people. It's like almost like being on Twitch again. Oh dear. I am so far behind on this. $1,000,000% Switch is okay, but it's poor man's PS4. Lol. Yeah, and a very poor man's Steam Deck. I agree it is. I love you. Oh, I'm so far behind. I prefer the Vita to the Switch. Straight up. Crappiest console is the Wii. Oh, dude. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that. I don't love the Wii, but I also don't hate it. And I don't know. It still has its place for me. I don't actively collect it. I sort of passively pick a few games up here and there. But I don't know. I don't mind it now and again. It's a bit gimmicky, but I don't know. So, yeah. But no, I know you don't like the Wii. I'm aware of that. Unsubbed from Kev. Oh dear. It will actually be interesting to see if I do actually lose any subs during this. That would kind of be funny. So, yeah. Yeah, I could just keep putting shorts up because no one likes my shorts. That's kind of funny. I quite like doing the shorts. I've done 2 now, and they're both rubbish. Well, I'm aware they're both rubbish. But it's kind of fun because I like the editing side of it and stuff. And the shorts are basically gameplay footage, so I don't have to do anything on camera where I'm obviously quite awkward. So it's I don't know. It's kind of fun. I quite like doing it. It's a bit of editing and stuff. I put them up, and everyone just down thumbs them. I'm like, what? Got like 1,000 views on it, but it's like sort of 20 odd down thumbs or something. It's like, yeah, great. I know people don't like them, but I don't really care. At least we all agree that the Wii U is the best console of all time. Another confession. I've never owned a Wii U. There's been a couple of times where I've almost bought one, but I just haven't. I don't know if there's. I'm sure a lot of people hate me saying this. I don't know if there's a massive point in me actually getting one now because a lot of the sort of Wii U stuff sort of went across on Switch and stuff. And I don't know. Talk me around, people. Should I buy a Wii U? And don't just do it to laugh at me. I'm getting dry mouth. This isn't sponsored, by the way, just in case you're wondering if you're like coming into a Death Stranding clip or something. Sorry. What did you say?
Donald Mackerel said, asked a question. If you can go back and unsell anything and still have it now, what would it be and why?
I missed that. Say that again. If I could go back.
Unsell anything.
Unsell anything. Can I go back and unaccidentally give away something? Oh, I don't know. Right. When I was a kid, I grew up like, and the first, oh, yeah, when I was a kid, I grew up. That's a good statement. Whatever. I had like a ZX Spectrum, and it had this interface thing, and it was like a hand-me-down from my cousin sort of thing when I was like a little kid. And I had these like little cartridges, and I think it was a ZX Spectrum with the rubber keys, and it was an interface too. And they had these little cartridges, and I had Jetpack, Trans Am. I think there was Chess. I think there were 5 or 6 of them, and they got sort of left in the loft after I sort of moved on to like sort of Sega and stuff. And at some point, they got gifted to a charity shop without me knowing. And it's only when my old folks moved house, I said, "Oh, if you find the Spectrum stuff, I'll have that back." Wasn't there. That's a bit of a shame because, to be totally honest, I never see them. And I would say they're rare because I literally never see them. And they were kind of cool. And that kind of was a little bit of my sort of early childhood sort of thing. And I would quite like them back. What do I regret selling? You what?
Your soul.
My soul, yes. I haven't sold that yet. That's still up for tender if anyone's interested. No, it's not. I'm looking over at my PS2 stuff, to be totally honest, because there's a couple of them that I wish I hadn't sold. Project Zero, 2 and 3. Have I still got Project Zero? Yes, I've still got the original. I've still got the first. Yeah, Project Zero, 2 and 3, I would say I regret selling because I think I got like, it wouldn't have been a lot, probably like sort of 20 and 40, 20 and 50, something like that for them. But I mean, I'm going back to sort of 2018, I guess. 2018, 2019 sort of time. I kind of wish I kept those two. Out of the rest of it, I don't really actively miss anything, I don't think. I didn't get rid of any Master System stuff that I really liked. I do tend to sort of hold on to most stuff. I don't tend to get rid of too much stuff that I think I might want in the future. So, which is kind of a good thing, I suppose. I kind of wish I still had some of the stuff that I had as a kid. I had quite a lot of sort of shooters and stuff on the Mega Drive, which I haven't got now. But that was sort of back when I was a kid and stuff. That was sort of like a necessity. It's like I was lucky. There was like this awesome like market stall. I grew up sort of like near Northampton, sort of about 20 miles or so from like where I am now. And there was this awesome market stall. I think it was called Upmarket Games or something. And I used to go there and I'd buy like a couple of games, and then like a week later, I'd try and like complete those games or sort of have as much sort of fun with those games as I could. Like a week or two later, I'd take the games back, trade them in, and get something else, sort of thing. And I sort of did that for ages. So there's a lot of stuff that I sort of got through. Sorry, the thing was about to. There we go. So there was a lot of sort of stuff that I got through, really awesome games, like old shooters and stuff. And yeah, some of the platformers, stuff like Atomic Robo Kid. That was awesome. So a lot of Jap import stuff as well. And that stuff I'd kind of, I would say I'd like it back, but to be honest, not at the price it is. I think that's the thing for me. With me, I think all games have sort of got their price. And when they sort of get to that sort of price, if, I'm cheap, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, I'm not going to spend like 100 quid on a game. Yeah. I almost bought one earlier today for 70 quid. Let's say that. And that would have been sort of probably the most I've spent on a game for a very long time. But it's one that I've wanted for a while. And I got home and said, maybe I should have bought it. Didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah. But like someone commented earlier, there's the Milton Keynes Gaming Fair coming up this weekend. So hopefully that's decent. And it may be there. The thing is, if it's there might be 2 or 3 others that I want, and I might end up picking one of those over it. And that's the thing. I'm very fickle with everything, to be honest. I'm very fickle with my collecting. I know a lot of you guys are full setters and stuff, and that's absolutely awesome. I gave that a go. I can't do it. I just don't have the sort of focus to do it. My head sort of does that. I'm good with lists. If I sort of do little lists of stuff, I'm good with that. I was really good. I was really impressed with myself with the Mission 360 stuff, and I'm really pleased that I actually finished that on YouTube, because if I hadn't finished that on YouTube, that might have gone by the by, to be honest. So, but you guys sort of helped keep me on track with that. And doing the Collect Box thing, again, it's off list. I've gone through the whole collection, worked out all the games that I really want to play, all the games that I sort of really want to sort of have on the shelf and sort of go to in the future. And that's sort of more how I do it. And, luckily, I would say the original Xbox stuff, there's not that many games that are like sort of right up there in price that I really want. I mean, a lot of the sort of more expensive games is just stuff that I'm just not interested in, which is good, which is very good. So can't say the same about the PS2. There are a few of those that are quite expensive that I quite like the look of, but I've sort of, after slimming the collection down and stuff, I feel a bit odd buying more PS2 stuff. So especially if it's stuff that I did have, but I don't know. I don't normally buy stuff that I've had. Once I've had it, I'm sort of normally done with it. And yeah, so I should probably be reading the comments because I've just started. What's the most money I've paid for a game? I'm quite a long way behind on the comments, aren't I? I'm really pleased to see that some of you guys agree with me on the Switch. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that was just going to be a mass exodus. But, That's cool. That is absolutely cool. So yeah. Wii U is also crap. Just seeing that. Nice one, Kev. Yeah. I don't know. I can't really comment on the Wii U having not had one, but there's just not enough pull there for me to really want one. So yeah. Most expensive game I've ever bought. I can't even see the comment. How far back am I?
Skull Games.
Stevie T in the house. Hello, boy. School games. Yeah, I think I may have missed a few comments here. Sorry, people. So my sensible adult needs to be a bit more on it. I'm going to blame it on her because that way it doesn't look so bad for me. Don't do that. I had a ZX Spectrum 128K when I was a kid. Loved it. The only snag. Waiting for it to load. Yes. Although, yeah, you didn't have that with the interface too and the cartridges. It was literally just like as you'd imagine. Oh, absolutely brilliant, that thing. And yeah, that's. I wish I still had that. So I'd be showing you it right now. If I still had it, I'd be showing you it right now. So it's one of those sort of things that I'll find at a car boot. I wish. Most expensive game I've ever bought is probably when I was collecting PS2. It's probably Rule of Rose. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going back. I'm thinking Mega CD as well. So I had Snatcher. I don't know. I'm gonna say it was probably Rule of Rose on PS2 when I was trying to full set PS2, and I think I paid. It was somewhere sort of. It was way before there was all the hype with it. It was like sort of 120, 150, something like that. And I sold it, I think, for about 180, and that then it sort of seemed to rocket up in price. And now I see them on eBay for like sort of a couple £100 because they found like whatever it was in Italy, wasn't it? The 505 warehouse thing, and yeah. It seems like there's quite a lot of them around. I think CEX have got about 100 at the moment. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it was probably that. Although I could sort of say it was Persona 4 Golden on the Vita because I literally, like I said earlier, I literally bought the Vita just to play Persona 4 Golden. So, I don't know. Is that a valid answer? So, that's my favorite answer, but because I still own that. Yeah. Full setting system ain't all it's cracked up to be. I've gotten to play loads of stinkers labeled as games that I wouldn't have ever played otherwise. Yeah, I hear you there, Mr. Yorkshireman. Yeah, that's what did it for me on the PS2 sort of thing and like Master System. There's far less stinkers on the Master System. That's actually a pretty good console to collect for. It's just you never bump into the games. You have to sort of go out your way to find them, and it's sort of like yeah, when you've got the sort of collection for that sort of thing that you want and then you're sort of thinking, oh, I need to buy this game, but it's like sort of £100. It's like, do I really want it though? Not really. It's just something else for the shelf. I can't do that. I'm just not built that way. And the PS2 sort of thing, it's like I had like half a sort of shelf full of FIFA, Pro Evos, all the like dance games and stuff, and it just sort of gets to the point that I was just like, I like the collection. I like how it sort of looks, sort of being big and stuff, but it's like it's so much better being like a quarter of the size it was, literally. Yeah, because everything on that shelf right now, I'd be quite happy to walk up to, pull out, and play, and that's a me thing. But I am also though at the moment on PS2. I've gone back into sort of collecting a little bit of PS2. I'm still doing the Phoenix games. When I quit collecting PS2 properly, I said I was still going to collect Phoenix because they're dreadful. But they're a sort of dreadful that sort of I don't know. I still sort of enjoy them in a weird way. They're that bad that they're good, sort of thing. And I've started collecting the Blast stuff as well. I've got like half a dozen or so boxes up, like in my office, and I was going through that like a few weeks ago. I said this in a video recently, but And I pulled a blast game out, and I was like, and I said to you, didn't I? I said, why don't I just collect the blast games as well? Because it's like it's one of those sort of things. I'm always going to be like, oh, maybe I should have collected some blast. I'm just going to do it, and yeah. Unfortunately, I saw a couple today, and they were like sort of 10 or 15 quid, and it's like I ain't paying that for them. They're rubbish. So I'm only picking the cheap ones up because I'm cheap. So there you go. There you go. I've done what? I don't know how far up the comments you are. Yeah, I should have set this up better. If I ever do one of these again, I'll set this up so this thing is up here, so I don't have to keep bending down past the mic to sort of see what you guys are saying, because I think I'm missing about half the comments. I do apologize. Yeah. I am doing my best, but as always, it's an absolute mess. So you do get some amazing horse games, though. What have I missed there? Oh, no. Has anyone ever dressed up as a horse? I haven't. I was just wondering, just putting it out there, just floating at people, So my horse and me too on the 360 for £1. Oh, I almost bought that in one of the local CEXs for 60 quid, like just sort of prior to them not prior to them going up, but I mean sort of halfway through them going up. Sort of almost as a joke, and stuck it on the shelf behind me, but I didn't. I sort of bottled it. Yeah, I kind of thought that was funny. I actually bought it on the Wii in a £10 challenge at some point, didn't I? Because I thought, sort of, why not? Why not? Yeah. I'm probably a long way behind. Am I going to buy or pre-order Terminator 2?
Yeah.
I can't even see the comment. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah. Are you going to buy, pre-order Terminator 2D No Fate? I'll be totally honest. I need to look into it. I don't know. I'm when it comes to sort of newer stuff, I'm kind of like a little bit behind. I do sort of pay attention to stuff, but I miss so much stuff. So I'll need to actually look into that, sort of see what it is properly. But I don't generally pre-order stuff. It's very rare that I would pre-order stuff nowadays, to be honest. I used to back in the sort of 360 days, and I suppose the early Xbox One days, because I was sort of camp Xbox for a few years there. And yeah. Yeah, but I will need to look into that, so I'll give that a little look at some point, and yeah, that's cool. Agreed. I cannot bring myself to full set for many reasons. Yeah, some of those Barbie games are ridiculously expensive. Yeah. Wonder if they're any good though. I mean, does anyone that ever buys that sort of stuff, do you actually play it? Because I don't know. I'll be totally right. Spoilers aside, the 52 Platinum Challenge thing I'm doing, I'm playing a game that's a little bit sort of that I thought was unlikely for me to sort of grab off the shelf. I'm playing Penguins of Madagascar at the moment on the PS3. It's actually really good, and I'm quite surprised. I was expecting it to be sort of really sort of basic and simple and sort of silly, but it's actually a really decent sort of 3D puzzle platformer, and yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. So there you go. So I do sort of play some random stuff. You helped me with my 360 collection by watching your channel. Excellent. Thanks, School Games. Appreciate that, bud. So really pleased. Really pleased. So I have actually done a bit of good. I like that. So that's why I want the channel to be a happy channel. I want it, I want sort of to spread the love of video games sort of thing, and the love of collecting and stuff. Because, that's sort of what I'm here for. Yeah. So that's brilliant. That's nice. I like that. Right, I've got a problem. I think there's twice as many comments getting put down as I'm able to read. So I do sometimes wear glasses as well, people. So yeah, for reading. So I'm all right when it's this far away, but if it was here, I'd be like, yeah, look like a drunk wombat. Some Phoenix games are ridiculous, and I won't buy them. Oh, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, most expensive currently. Yeah, that's a game that's got right up there. So that's a brilliant game, mate. That is a brilliant game. So yeah, that's a much better game than Rule of Rose. I can tell you that. So Rule of Rose, brilliant story, horrible combat. But yeah, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, that is a solid game. I remember when that sort of got up to sort of 3 figures, and it was like, oh, that's flown way higher than I sort of thought it would. So I don't know, because I didn't think that was like that rare, but I know it's hella expensive. We went to a Doncaster gaming market like years back, sort of thing, and there was some like sort of young lad. Well, I say young lad, he was probably like sort of 17 or 18 or something, and we were stood there like looking at. So I imagine I was probably looking at PS2 stuff, and he was there and he was umming and ahhing with the trader there. That was for a copy of Symphony of the Night, and I think the trader offered it him for like 150, 160 or something. And the lad was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's a choice between this and eating next week." But the way he said it, if it sounded really genuine, I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like, yeah, that's suffering for what you love, people. Yeah, so respect to whoever that was, but I imagine they're probably sort of like in the mid-20s now. So yeah, that would be so weird if they were watching this. That was me. Like, nah, no, that would be so weird.
I think my mum could be up on food for games, but don't ask me. I know nothing about that.
Food's overrated, people. Oh dear. Yeah, do not ever take health advice off me, okay? I clear a large number of my Phoenix stuff. Not worth it. This they are printed on. Oh, my friend. The Phoenix stuff's brilliant, my friend. Honestly. Oh, it needs treasuring. It's got a special place right down there. Yeah, I keep it away from the rest of the PS2 stuff so it doesn't sort of like spread its grotty ooze into it, sort of thing. Oh dear. Oh dear. Guys, I want to say a massive thank you for being here. This is absolutely awesome. I'm actually amazed that I'll be totally honest, I'm amazed anyone turned up. And I kind of thought I'd just sort of be sat here just sort of talking nonsense about, I don't know, the weather or something. But yeah, massive thanks for being here, guys. I'll stay on for a little while longer, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just amazed that anyone's turned up. It's like, thanks. Oh wow. Honestly, touched. Proper touched, people. Yeah. Puppy Rescue was class. Spectacular. Oh dear. I went through Explorer 2. I think it was a Crash Bandicoot clone. From memory. It was years ago. Okay. I have brought some awful PS1 games in recent months, and I always give them an hour or two. Wow. Nice one. Mr. Yorkshireman, that is awesome, Yorkie. No, I'm really pleased to hear that because I think a lot of collectors just sort of like accumulate the stuff but don't play it. And to me, I only buy stuff that I want to play, and that will be coming up on a video very shortly as well, actually, because yeah, we may have had a little bit of a fail with a couple of things, but yeah, I literally only buy stuff that I want to play. I don't always get around to playing it, but I would say probably 80% of the stuff that's in here I've actually played, and the other 20% of it I intend to play. But I don't know, sometimes I'll buy, like, if there's like a bundle of games or something, I'll buy like sort of 5-6 games. I'll play 3 or 4 of them, and then the other 2 get sort of left for sort of later, sort of thing. And I will normally get around to them, but I don't know. Yeah, but no, that's massively awesome that you're playing stuff, bud. And yeah, sorry, Gibbs off.
Yeah.
Gibbo, look after yourself, bud. If you're on Instagram, mate, drop me a line. Drop me a little line, but that'll be awesome. So yeah, awesome. Look for any Phoenix Blast games in the loft. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, it's probably the best place for him, actually. Yeah. There you go. Being a game collector like myself is like a virus. You just can't stop. I'm always walking in the CX and looking. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. School Games. Make sure you watch my next £10 challenge because I think that you might get a laugh out of that. Okay. Yes. Nothing wrong with giving up on food for games, no. But don't ask me, I know nothing about that. No. I could do with giving up a bit of food, to be honest, people. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing a live stream like this at some point. Yorkie, do it, mate. Do it. I was really sort of unsure about this, to be honest, because I mean, I've held off this for ages, and I said to my sensible adult, I want to do it because I've been here. I've like uploaded the first video we uploaded was the 25th of April last year, and I said to her, I said, right, I want to do like a sort of live stream and say sort of hello to people and just sort of have a bit of a waffle because I've never done one before, you know. And I said, yeah, but I didn't want to do it at the weekend because I figured, you know, if any of the big channels do stuff a lot of them do stuff at the weekends basically, and if any of the big channels have got anything on, I'm going to get no one at all. So I thought if I do it during the week, I know there'll probably be a few other bits on, but I've got more chance in a few of you guys turning up. But yeah, it's been absolutely awesome. Yorkie, definitely do it, mate. It's a good laugh. This has been brilliant. I've absolutely loved it. So yeah. I don't know. Do you guys want to see anything else? Have you got any more questions? I don't think I answered all the questions earlier. Did I answer all the questions earlier?
I think so.
I did. Okay.
I apologise.
Yeah. If I've missed any questions, I do apologise. Kick-Ass 2 is a right stinker. Better than Bloodbath, though. Really? I've never played either. I almost bought Kick-Ass 2 on the PS3 a little while back, and I didn't. Yeah, I didn't realise Bloodbath was meant to be a stinker, though. So, will do, pal. Nice one. Thanks, School Games. Oh, I'm glad I've got that fan on because it's just been too hot today. Too hot. Yes, Mr. Mackerel said that Kick-Ass was absolutely dreadful. So yeah, I think I'd take his word for that, to be honest. Because yeah, I've seen a couple of people say that, and yeah, I think it's meant to be an easy platinum though. Soup is cooking. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's not soup; it's more like stew today. Yeah. Oh dear. I've got a spare copy of Kick-Ass 2. You accidentally bought 2 copies of Kick-Ass 2. Oh my god. Yeah, that's unfortunate double dip, my friend, I would say. But that said, it's probably got a decent resale value because you don't. I think that was one of the. Is it Freedom Fighters games? I think were they Spanish maybe. So I don't think they released sort of fully over here, did they? So I imagine that's got a pretty good sort of resale value over here. So I remember when I was looking at it on the PS3, I was going to have to import it. I thought it was Italy, but maybe it was Spain. I'm not sure. I don't like importing stuff nowadays. So yeah, I tend to sort of wait for someone else to do it and then sort of grab the stuff. But yeah, I used to get quite a lot of stuff from abroad. So Freedom Factory, yes, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Crazy. So yeah, stew it all. Yeah. Proper stewing. So yeah, you guys I don't know, any other questions you want me to mess up? uh Yeah, School Games. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to suggest with that, my friend. You just sort of got to do it. I set this channel up originally in 2017, and the original sort of goal of the channel was when I was collecting PS2 and Master System. I was going to sort of jump on here and be like, "Hello, look, I collect Master System and PS2." And then I fell off that horse sort of massively, sort of at the end of 2017. And then it took me until 2024 to actually upload anything at all. And yeah, I think just getting the first one up, after you've got the first one up and you're like, that was all right, I suppose. And it's like you just sort of go from there. And I mean, I think my channel's relatively rubbish, but it's like it's still my channel. It's kind of my diary, if that sort of makes sense. And it doesn't really matter too much to me what other people are sort of thinking about it, because it's sort of for me to look back at, my sensible adult to look back at. And in a couple of years' time, it would be like, oh, do you remember when we were collecting original Xbox? And I've sort of watched through that stuff and that. And it's as much for myself as anyone else in a way. But with that said, I'm hoping that I can sort of do stuff with you guys and stuff in the community and that as well, and we can just sort of share our love for video games. So my honest thing, Mr. School Games, yeah, just do one, dude. Even if it's like real rough and everything, just go for it. So honestly, it can't be much worse than mine, my friend. So yeah. What am I missing now? Worst platinum trophy you ever earned was a joke by. It was a joke with a friend. It was a game called Road Bustle, which is a very bad sort of Frogger clone, which took, I think, about 8 minutes. Yeah, I don't tend to generally get that sort of stuff, but I mean, I suppose if I get really stuck on my 52 platinum challenge, that is still on my sort of main account. I could resort to that, but I'm hoping not to. I did do one of the Pretty Girls games the other day, and I know that's a bit cringe, but it was Texas Hold'em poker, and it was fine. If you don't mind sort of big boobs, it was all right. Didn't really bother me. Yeah, the game was passable. It was a game, so probably took me a couple of hours. That was a pretty bad one. I did that in theory as an extra for my 52 platinum challenge. However, this week has gone absolutely crazy, and I would have been one short if I hadn't done it. Let's just say that. So it's a good job that I did. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the worst platinum I can think of. Yeah, Road Bustle. I bet you're sat there looking what it is now. But yeah, absolutely dreadful shovelware. So, but that was kind of a joke with a mate. Favorite PS1 game. I did a little collab actually. I'll shout that out now. Mark at Thou Shalt Play More. It's out in China, collects like a lot of sort of boxed SNES stuff and that. Awesome guy. I've been having like a good chat with him. He actually designed like the new logo that I've got and stuff, which was really cool for, just because he wanted to sort of be part of it and stuff. And he's absolutely awesome. He did like a collab thing with like a load of people like last week or the week before, I think it was. And I answered it on that, but I went with the Grand Theft Auto, the original. But I said I very nearly went with Worms, and I almost, what was the other one? Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. And when he originally asked me, my head went straight to Final Fantasy. I was like, right, Final Fantasy. I was like, I started looking along the shelf, and I saw like Metal Gear Solid and stuff, and I was like, oh, so I'm in trouble. But in the end, I gave it 2 or 3 days thought, which is probably way too much thought. But I went with the original GTA because I remember the first time I sort of played it, it just absolutely blew my hair back. And I think that's a nostalgia thing because I know it's not a perfect game. I know, it's nowhere near a perfect game. But to me, just back in the day, back at that time sort of thing, that game just sort of, it meant something, Yeah, that's what I went with. So, yeah. Verdict on Oblivion remake. I like it, but I don't think the graphics are as good as everyone else is saying they are. So, but I don't know. Maybe it's better on PC. I don't know. I had a massively glitchy part in the like the tutorial bit before you come out the sewers, which I did like a little short for, which which you saw, yes, which was sort of Bethesda through and through, I would say. I like Bethesda. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Bethesda. I'm not knocking Oblivion. I love Oblivion. Oblivion's a 9 out of 10. To me, I prefer Skyrim straight up. The remake is decent. There's still a few bugs, and I kind of wish they'd ironed a few of the bits out, maybe. And some of the textures in it, at least on the Xbox, I think aren't great. So, 2 days after Oblivion remake came out, Expedition 33 came out. Expedition 33, no word of a lie, is one of the best JRPGs that I've played in my life. I know it's not technically a JRPG, so it's a French developer and stuff that brought it out, but it is basically a JRPG, and it is fantastic. It is immense, and it blows Oblivion out of the water. I don't want to sort of think it's recency bias sort of thing, because I don't think it is, but I imagine once I actually get through Expedition 33, I'll put a little bit of it on the channel at some point. I think that will go into my top 20 all-time games. It's incredible. So any of you guys out there with Game Pass, give Expedition 33 a go. Honestly, just give it a chance. A brilliant game. Yeah. You don't understand the Pretty Girls releases on PlayStation. They take all the nudity out. Yes, I'm kind of pleased about that though, dude, because that would be even more cringe if they hadn't. So yeah, I was actually kind of pleased that there wasn't any. I was worried when I remember when I opened it up and I pulled it out and saw it as an 18. I was like, oh dear, this might be really bad. And I looked at it and it said gambling on the back, and I was like, oh, thank God for that. Yeah. It's a bit of a weird thing, but I think they've just sort of got to give it some sort of identity, and I don't know. I literally don't know. But there are 4 platinums on that disc, and the disc cost me like about 12 quid. So it's like, it was sort of cheap platinums for if I get really desperate. And yeah, I like it from that point of view. The games aren't actually that terrible from what the poker one was all right. It was passable. It's probably like a sort of 5 out of 10 like. But I've got Bishouju Battle as well, which is like the same sort of thing. There's only 2 games on it. It's a Quicks sort of a fake Quicks game sort of thing, and a Mahjong game, and they're both pretty decent. I mean, they're obviously not the best games in the world, but it's exactly the same sort of thing. Bit of fan service in those games. I'd kind of prefer it. I don't know. I don't know what they could have really done. I kind of get why they've done it, but it's like, it's a bit of a miss, but they're all right for trophies. So that's the thing, or at least it is this year. Do upload gameplay off my PS4 like Hitman W creations. Thanks for info. I will do amount of games I have. Yeah, I hear you there. Worms was brilliant, and I used to play Worms. I used to go out nightclubbing with like a load of like mental people, basically. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I don't really care. But a load of crazy people, basically, and it's really weird. But I don't. You would have had to have been there, but we used to go back to a mate's flat at like sort of 3 a.m. and we'd be sort of off our trolleys, like, and we go back and we play Worms, and it was just like, oh my god, it's yeah, I don't know. People that get set on fire and stuff. It was yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was all in good humor sort of thing. But that's what sort of Worms takes me back to. Worms takes me back to sort of almost partying with worms, which is quite a strange thing. But we used to play Tekken as well. Tekken was awesome. Tekken 2 mainly. So it was sort of early PS1 days. Yeah, that was awesome. I was never really that good at Tekken though, so I'd sort of get my backside kicked. So like on the game. I'd then be quite good at worms and get my backside kicked in real life. So there you go. Sort of balances out, you know. But yeah, yeah, the cheat for Alien Trilogy is burned into my brain. I didn't play much Alien Trilogy. Sorry. I I don't know. I don't mind Alien. I've just never really been that into Alien. Yeah, my mate lent me, was it Alien Isolation for about 3 months, and I never played it, and I gave it back to him. Like, sort of back, I don't know, like when it came out, 2018-ish, maybe 2019. I don't know. But back whenever that came out, yeah, they lent me it for like about 3 months, and it just sort of sat there. I never played it, like Isolation. Yeah, I don't know if I played Alien Trilogy. I'm trying to think. So that's one of my things. My memory is god awful, and that's part of the thing that I love with YouTube. It's like I'm building a sort of diary that I can sort of go back and check on. So, which is probably a bit crazy, but yeah, you know, it's what we do here. Yeah. What do I reckon? The PS5, too many remastered games, and still 30. Yeah, I don't have a PS5. Straight up. I keep saying I might, and then I don't. So I game here on. I guess a lot of you guys don't know that. I game here on a budget, like massively on a budget, because back when I was sort of doing the Master System and the PS2 stuff and that, I was just buying bundles of stuff, loads of stuff all the time, and I was spending a ridiculous amount of money. And I don't know. Since I sold up a lot of stuff and that, I said to my sense of bladder, I still want to sort of spend a bit on games, but I want to I want to have a bit more sort of challenge to it. So I'm not picking as much stuff up, because I can be a bit like a kid in a sweet shop. And, you know, if you say, oh, yeah, just buy some games, I'll add 100 games to my basket and hit the buy button, you know. But I've been really sort of strict with myself, and I have £10 a week, which I add to like a spreadsheet, and basically that sort of accumulates up over a little while, and then you know, when I buy stuff, it comes out of it. I do add the odd little bonus in here and there, like if we're going to if if I'm going to Milton Keynes on Saturday, I'll add like an extra 50 quid in, but I think there's a couple hundred quid in there now anyway. And to buy a PS5, it's kind of like I wouldn't be able to buy anything else for a while if I did. So I don't do that. Or I could flog some of the stuff I've got and then fund it, which is what I have done in the past. Like when I sold off the PS2 stuff and that, I sold a good chunk of GameCube stuff. I had quite a lot of sealed GameCube stuff, and that all went, and some of the Master System stuff. And when I did that, I bought an N64 with some of the N64 games I wanted. And that was when I bought my PS3. So I never actually had a PS3 back in the day. And I sort of said like a couple of the sort of higher tier PS2 games are what sort of paid for the PS3 and some of the games I bought on the PS3. And I've always kind of done that. There are a lot of remasters on the PS5, and I don't know, there's a few games that I would really like to play that are on PS5 that, you know, that I'd like physicals of. Like I said, Expedition 33, that's got a physical on PS5. I believe it has anyway, and I would want that. So sorry. Oh no, that's cool. I think I'm gonna have to end this soon anyway. So yeah. Isolation came out in 2014. It's poo tore pants scary. Yeah, they when they lent it to me, they said it was scary and they wanted me to play it, and I was like, yeah, I'll play it. I think when I gave it back to them, they said, was it too scary for you? And I was like, no, I just couldn't be bothered. But yeah, I don't actually have it, do I? Mr. Mackerel, all the best, my friend. I'm sure we'll catch up soon. So yeah, I'm gonna need. Yeah, dude, thanks so much for being here. Much appreciated, mate. So yeah, yeah, be nice to see when you finish the 360 collection as well, my friend. So yeah, looking forward to that. So yeah, I am still watching everyone. I'm not commenting as much because my comments are just like not there. So yeah, half the time anyway. Yes, I'm sure we will bump into you again. I've penciled you in for the Black Country Games Fair in September, by the way, mate. Yeah, so hoping we'll see you there, bud. I'm terrible, aren't I? Oh dear. But yes, I don't actually think I've got a copy of Alien Isolation. I do need to get a copy of that because I didn't not play it for any particular reason other than there was other stuff I wanted to play. I'm just looking over there. I haven't a ground, a keyboard. No, it'll be there. If my if it's alphabetized right, then it's I haven't got it. So yeah, that's actually one that I need to keep an eye out for and grab a copy of. So good one, Mr. Yorkie. Tekken 3 sessions. Yes. I didn't actually mind the games on the one I did, but you done one volume. What's that? Yes, so I love the Alien movies. Yeah, oh mate, I need to buy Isolation. Right, that's going on the watch list now, like the want list. For Saturday. Alien Isolation. He's talked me into it. I've been influenced by Yorkie. I'm buying Alien Isolation on Saturday now. Yeah. I actually saw the Alien films in the cinema. It wasn't like originally because that would have been like I don't know, make me about 80, wouldn't it? But they used to. I don't even think it's there anymore. Is that cinema still there? The other side of Northampton at Sixfields, near where the football thing is.
I think they were closing it.
Yeah. They used to, right, there was a big like multiplex cinema with about 10 cinema like screens in it sort of thing. And they used to like now and again have like old films on sort of thing. So I actually saw Alien and Aliens, I think it was, at that cinema, in the cinema. And that was cool. That was cool. So, but that was when I was early 20s, maybe. I don't know. That's way before you, if you know what I mean. Way before you came around. Yeah. Way before I had to put up with your cheek. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I went with that guy used to call himself Snake. Remember him? I went with Snake. Yeah. I've told you about him, haven't I? No? Okay. It was a laugh. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I'm just getting all waffly now. So yeah. Aliens Dark Descent. Oh. Aliens Dark Descent. It's like XCOM but Xenomorphs. That sounds fun, mate. Yeah. I do like a bit of XCOM. I do like my sort of strategy stuff and that. So, yeah, quite nerdy in a way. So I like my sort of Civ games and that. So probably the earlier ones though. I don't know. Alpha Centauri. Best Civilization game was Alpha Centauri back in I don't know when, but when I was small. Yeah, that was awesome. Windows XP. I need to build a Windows XP machine so I can play my old XP games. That is something that I may actually look at doing at some point in the future. Because yeah, there's so much stuff that's sort of lost to sort of old generations of PC. But yeah, I don't know. Yep. So anyway, guys, I'm going to close the stream off now. So thank you so much for being here. As always, you guys have been absolutely awesome. Don't get sunburnt and keep hydrated, apparently. So that's something that OG Duffy would say, I believe. So yeah. Thanks, dude. I did my best. I apologize if it was waffly and a little bit all over the place and a bit incoherent, but that's kind of my style, I guess. So yeah. But enjoyed that. Cheers. Thanks, Access Area 6. Thanks, Kev, my friend. What question where, sorry?
Do you remember Under the Killing Moon or Windows XP? Great game.
Under the Killing Moon? No, I don't. No, I'll have to look that up. I'll be totally honest. It's a memory thing, a lot of that, because that was just so long ago. And yeah, I'm terrible with names. I'm quite bad with faces actually as well. So, which I didn't really realize until recently. And people that I know talk to me, and I'm like, do I know you? It's like, oh yeah, I do know you. I used to work with you or something. It's like, okay. Yeah. But anyway, thanks so much for being here, guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. I will do this again sometime. Because this has been fun and I've really quite enjoyed it. So thanks so much, people. Look after yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.